Welcome back to another VanCan video, and today it's February, but it's still riding season. That's part of the reason I moved to Vancouver. It might be a little wet, but I've got a solid crew with me, and we're gonna head down a pretty fun tech trail called Executioner. So, let's get after it. For this first trail, Cameron is leading the way with Ryan behind him. And you might notice that those bikes don't have any suspension in the back. That's right, they're riding hardtails. And, well, they're pretty good at it. Because, as you're gonna see, I have a pretty hard time keeping up. Woohoo! I don't know if it's just me, but even though we just spent 40 plus minutes climbing up the mountain and my muscles are pretty warm, I still need to warm up on the trail. It's like, not only do I need to warm up physically, I need to warm up mentally, just so I could let off the brakes and just let my bike do its thing and hopefully go a little faster than I am right now. So this is also the first ride where I've actually taken specialized advice and set up my suspension correctly according to them. Now, I'm a heavier rider, and that means 102 psi up front in my Fox 36 fork and 320 psi in my rear shock. Now, that's way more than I would have guessed, and it's way more than I've been running, but actually, it feels a lot better. So, I guess I should have listened to them sooner. I should say, I still appreciate that I can go out in February and get out in the woods and do some riding. I just can't imagine ever going back to a real winter and not being able to get out here and spend some time in the woods.
Good one.
Oh, wow! After seeing how much fun these guys are having on their hardtails, it got me thinking, maybe I should get a hardtail. I mean, I do spend a lot of time on my BMX that doesn't have any suspension, and a hardtail does seem kind of right up my alley. Ooh. I'm still not fully accustomed to the 29er yet. I still feel like the wheels are big, but I can definitely tell that it's coming along. It does take me quite a while to get used to a bike where it feels sort of like an extension of my body, and I could tell it's coming. But with this big bike right now, it still feels really big. And well, these old school North Shore trails don't help. They are actually pretty tight and pretty technical and pretty janky. A shorter bike is probably just better for them in general. But still, I'm gonna ride my big bike on it because it's fun. In this corner is where these guys really take off in front of me. They're just so quick, even with no suspension in the back. Ooh. If you haven't noticed, I'm actually not using the gimbal today. I've got the Hero 8 mounted to the chin on my Fox Pro Frame helmet. And in the sun, in kinda bright, kinda dark forest areas, the stabilization's doing really great. I think this is probably going to be my go-to setup. It's just so much more convenient than carrying that big gimbal around, and I think it looks pretty good. And that's the end of Executioner. We decide to pedal back up to the road and make our way down to another trail, Lower Oil Can, another tech trail that's super fun. This time Cameron's leading the way and I'm following him with Ryan behind me. Now, like I said, he's on a hardtail, but he's super fast, and even though I'm on my big full suspension, he's really hard to keep up with, but I try my best.
That's okay, I go fast enough.
I should also add that Cameron's hardtail doesn't have any gears. That's right, it's a single speed. So even though he can pedal in these sections, he really just has to pump and keep the flow going.
Oh.
But sometimes you get too much flow, have too much fun, and head right off the trail.
That's epic, you're going so fast you went off trail.
We get back on the trail, and Cameron's gone. Here we get to one of my favorite parts of the trail, a nice long jump into some fast, flowy tech.
That was awesome.
It's at this point that I've decided that Cameron must have some sort of extra grip boost mode because it's so slippery out, and that doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Oh, there's no way the lens is clear after that. Woo-hoo-hoo! Wow! Ooh. Woo! Woo-hoo! Yeah, I definitely had some Cushcore moments in there.
That whole thing was a crush car moment.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I just picked up like a whole speed.
Oh.
And And that's the end of Lower Oil Can. We decided to call it a day and head back to the cars, but not without hitting one more trail. Lower Ladies. A double black tech trail that's debatably one of the hardest North Shore trails. Well, legal ones, that is.
Oh, already. I slipped already. Oh yeah, that's tight.
Now this is probably the trickiest part of the trail. You take this wooden bridge, drop into some roots and rocks like Cameron just did, and you set up for some jank. We've had a lot of rain lately, so Cameron's kind of taking his time. I mean, he is on a hardtail, and that section is super janky. But he sends it anyway. Now it's my turn, and let's see how it goes.
It's a little spicy. Yeah, these roots are freaking me out right now. Yeah, I'll take it easy.
It's like walking down, it's kind of sketchy.
Yeah, no. Woo! Oh, my
You put the rock to your pedal. That's what it was.
yeah, I shifted my bars too.
Again, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like once I get offline or I fall once, I'm just off, and I start to crash a lot more. Maybe I get more nervous, maybe I just lose some confidence, but I don't know. At this point, I just sort of feel a bit uncomfortable with my bike, and
That's wild.
I'm ready just to make it down the mountain safely.
Can I also remember it on
Boy, that's a big compression for this bike.
Here we get to one of the last features on the trail. A fallen tree that's now a skinny. But, like I said, it's wet out, I'm not feeling so great on the bike anymore, and I decided to go around it. I'll come back for it on another day.
Well, solid riding with you guys.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. I live on.
Alright, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. That really does help the channel a lot. If you're not subscribed, that helps the channel as well. Consider subscribing. And don't forget to like. All these things help the channel, and I really do appreciate it. I put out videos every week, but if you want videos early and extended, consider heading over to my Patreon. And with that, I'd like to thank my patrons. The future of the channel really does depend on them, and I appreciate their support so much. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.